Hello. Hello to the Jenny. Yo. What's up, everyone? Happy Saturday. Xander, hello, hello. I was feeling a little inspired, so I thought I would come down to the studio here and work on the bass for Shae Vizla. So that's what I'm doing right now. If you just came in, I'm using dark wood. I got quite a bit of water in here. Xander, I am making Shae Vizla, the Mandalorian. I'll give you a little taste of what we're talking about here. So here's her body. Let me move this out of the way, see it a little better. So there's her body, and here's her head. It's gonna go on like so. She actually comes with two heads. The other one looks like that Mandalorian helmet. So stars falling. I miss my girlfriend. Okay. I'm sorry you're missing your girlfriend, man. I guess this is a good way to pass time, maybe. Jenny's back. Welcome back, Jenny. Can everybody hear me okay with the music going? Everybody can see that all right. So basically, I just have a watered down wash, and I'm going over this Xandri dust that I airbrushed on the rocks here. Just kind of letting that stuff seep into all the little cracks and crevices here. Taking my time with it and just kind of going by feel. Like the way that's looking so far. I think when I'm done with this wash, get this dry, and do a little dry brushing. I'll show you guys some of that. Gonna bring out some highlights with the dry brushing. Right now, we just want everything to seep into these little cracks and crevices and create some depth. Your girlfriend's ghosting you. Maybe she's out with girlfriends or something. Just busy. It is Saturday. I mean, I don't know, man. I am no psychologist or dating expert, that's for sure. I've done well in the dating world, but I'm a settled not I'm not settled like my life is the best for me anyways. Do I sell my work? Yes, I do. If the price is right, everything's for sale. Oh, I got something crazy I can show you guys too that I'm working on right now. So, if you're a Star Wars nut like I am, there's a digital sculpting company that, you know, they make these models like this, you know. They're called Star Wars 3D Studios or SW 3D Studios. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but I am a subscriber to their Patreon. And for their May term that they just released, if you guys remember Revenge of the Sith, there's a scene where Obi-Wan's going after General Grievous, and he hops on this like feathered dragon-looking critter with like gecko toes and stuff. It's called Bogo, I guess. Anyhow, SW3D Studios just dropped a model of that, and apparently it's like the largest 3D print file they've ever released so far. And I believe it because I'm printing this thing out so I can paint it, and it is by and far the largest print I've ever done. Stars, yeah, um, I do smoke. I kind of do whatever I want. It's not a good habit, obviously. I don't recommend anybody smoke. And this channel is not made for kids, especially kids under 18. I tend to cuss sometimes, not a lot. I try to keep it at bay when I'm doing my channel just because I want kids to be able to watch this, but I still want parents, of course, to just be responsible, you know. Yeah, not proud of the habit, not proud of the fact that I smoke. When I'm painting, I tend to work without smoking for the most part, but it's Saturday night and I'm recording live, and I'm just doing a wash right now, so I don't really care. And no, sorry, Folly. You can ask me anything you like. I'm always going to be honest with you guys. I got nothing to hide. I think that's starting to look pretty cool right there. So you guys want to see the Obi-Wan Kenobi model I'm working on? I got to bring you over to my other. I basically had to clear my airbrush bench, the table. I'm very, very sorry to hear that, Stars. There, I put it out just for you. All right, so check this out. I'm going to take you guys over here. So, here's my 3D printer. It's going like crazy in there right now. I'm printing parts for Bogo and Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is just the base that I'm working on right now. And speak of the devil, here's the base. So this is my airbrush station table, right? This is the base. Now to get an idea of how big this thing is, there's my hand on it. I could only print 2 of these sections at a time on my printer. I wish I had the Photon Max, but I don't, so I can only do 2 sections at a time. So all these sections have to fit together. I have to close all these gaps up and seal them up, glue everything, make it look nice and pretty, and then I can start stacking the rocks. I'm actually printing the rocks right now, but I'll be able to start stacking the other parts that go up. And then Bogo, the dragon-looking critter, is going to be somewhere up in here, and Obi-Wan Kenobi is going to be riding on top of him. Here's Obi-Wan, just to give you an idea of scale. He's sitting on top of this big old thing. Come on. I'm trying to get it together here. Bear with me. There you go. So, yeah. Obi-Wan Kenobi's sitting up here somewhere on Bogo with his lightsaber, and they're going after General Grievous and stuff. So, yeah. This is going to be insane. All right, stars. Well, have yourself a great evening. Again, I'm really sorry to hear about your sister there. Wish you much love and blessings. I'm not the Pope. I guess I can't really do blessings, but I can wish you a good night and I can say have a nice day tomorrow. All right, so this is my wife's old hair dryer, and I'm gonna blow dry this to dry it off a little faster. Hopefully that's not too loud over my microphone. I want to get this really good and dry so that we can get on to the next layer. Welcome everybody. Happy Saturday night. Whoa. I'm not sure if you're still with us. You were asking if I sell my models. I do. I've got some up here that I've recently finished, and I'll say it again. Like I'll sell any of these are for sale for the right price. But I got to be fair with myself. I am a professional artist. I've been doing this my whole life. I spent a lot of time and a lot of materials on these guys. Put a lot of love and patience into them. It's NSFW. Sorry about that, guys. But this one lights up, actually. And so does this one. The siding up there. You guys want to see the light up? Yeah, I can show you that real quick. Hang on a sec. Turn my shop light off. And there we go. And then I can change the colors like that, I think. Oh, there we go. I think this is it. Yeah, I like this one because it changes to like red and all this other cool stuff. That's fun. And then, yeah. Turn my shop lights back on. And here's the Juggernaut. Juggernaut's huge. He is for sale as well. I had a buyer for him, but he backed out at the last minute, had to pay rent or something. I'm like, dude, definitely pay your rent before you think about buying one of these dumb models here. That's his face. So you can switch his heads out. And then if you look at my other videos, I did the Turtle Fairy. She's pretty cool. So, yeah. The little tour. We've got to be getting pretty dry over here, so hope everybody's having an awesome Saturday night, though. Needs to be a little more dry. You know, it would be fun, I think. So you guys get to join me during, this is the creative process where, you know, I kind of just make stuff up as I go along, as I'm figuring out the model. So I feel like once we finish this part, we're going to add some plant life to it, which should look pretty cool. I've got some little plant dudes that we could put on there that I think that would look pretty sweet. And I'm going to use some of this Vallejo metal color. It's like a dark aluminum is what it is. That stuff's cool. Doesn't take much. You only need a couple drops of this stuff. And it'll spread pretty far. But anyways, I want to get in here and clean up a little bit of this guy. So, oops, sorry about that. I gotta find a good brush. This one looks good. No? Yeah, that's a good brush. So I had some overspray of that Xandri dust when I was working on the airbrushing of the rocks and stuff. So I'm just going back in and cleaning that up a little bit. Nobody else is really probably going to notice it, but I know it's there, so it's got to go. Got to make it look right. I'm going to fill this in too here. Yeah, I mean, it's not like somebody's going to turn it upside down and look at your work, really. But I also don't want light reflecting the wrong color somewhere. I don't want that color to be seen. So I always go back over and fix these parts if I have any overspray. Obviously, I didn't mask it off first because masking sucks. It's a necessary evil sometimes. I'm sure you guys can see how reflective this paint is. Stuff is really awesome. Clean up this spot right back here. My wife and I went to the museum today, not too far from where we live, and they have a butterfly exhibit that was really cool. You basically got to walk around in this big, like, aviary, or would the correct term be a topiary? I'm not sure. It was an aviary, whatever. Except it wasn't birds, it was butterflies. That was pretty sweet. Butterflies would like straight up land on you and stuff. It's pretty cool. Some huge butterflies in there too. Species from all over the world. It was cool. If you guys have any questions about what I'm doing here, feel free to ask. I'm kind of just cruising along tonight. I was feeling a little inspired to come down to the studio. Wife's getting tired and going to bed. I'm like, you know what? Go ahead and go to bed, dear. I'm gonna go downstairs and paint and see what happens. And then she was like, bye. She likes to lay in bed and read her articles. It's pretty cute. She likes to read like history articles and stuff. She's a nerd like me. This part's weird. It's almost like I feel like this is supposed to be metal too. I think I screwed up on that. It looks like it's got a big gash in it. I think that's what that... Yeah, so we're going to paint over that. That makes more sense. Yeah, that makes way more sense. Yep. Cool. This is feeling pretty dry now. Yeah, if you have any questions, definitely hit up the chat bar. Let me know what your question is. You can ask me anything you want. So this is about the time where I do a little mock-up just to see where the character's falling on the model. I gotta, because I can't remember like exactly where her foot lands and all that. So, oh, that's right. Okay. So she's standing up there like that. Okay, I got an idea. All right. Let's do a little bit of dry brushing. See what happens. I think I'm just going to use an old makeup brush. This guy right here. And I am going to actually use a dry brush. You can do it with a damp brush too if you want. When I'm doing like a base that has like rocks in it and stuff, I prefer to go with it a little dry because I want it to be kind of matte. So I'm just going to take some of that paint off. Don't want it heavy. That looks good. So we're just going to bring up some highlights and stuff in the rock. Catch these edges. I don't know if you can tell, I'm basically using like circular motions as I'm going along with the dry brush. And just very lightly, you know, touching it. You can even pick up some of the heavier paint you left behind on the napkin. When you see me brushing it on my hand, I'm just basically doing a test to make sure I'm not seeing it like a gloss from the paint. It's just something you get the hang of with practice. You only want to leave a little bit of paint down at a time, just a very small amount, just to get these like little tiny nooks and crannies in there, like the little higher up pieces of rock. I'm gonna bring those up. Oh, you can see they marked her footprint. How astute of me to notice that before. All right, so I want to pick up this edge a little more, add a little more definition to it. Cool. All right, I think that looks good. Now, what do we do next? What is next? Definitely want to add some more dirt to the pieces I fixed there. So we'll go in with a panel liner on that. This is Tamiya Accent panel liner. And the way this stuff works is you can use this little applicator if you want. Or you can use a paintbrush with it, whatever you feel like doing. I don't want this metal looking pristine. I want it pretty beat up looking. That's what I'm going for. Some better light there. while I'm thinking of it too, really like to thank all my supporters, new and old. Really, really appreciate you guys giving my channel the time and your time. It means a means a shit ton to me that you guys are willing to take time out of your lives to come and check me out while I'm painting here. You know, hopefully you guys learn something from it. Like I always say too, you know, if you have any questions, definitely hit me up in the chat or you know, on my videos, just drop a line in the comments section there. Right now I'm kind of just cruising around this metal piece and just giving it some grunge. I want it to look pretty dirty. I don't know why. Just feel like it should be dirty. I mean, it does look like it's broken off something, like Shae Vizla just came in and whooped some ass on somebody and all that's left is the metal they're standing on or something. I don't know. I like to think of stories and stuff while I'm painting. Kind of, I don't know, it brings a certain life to whatever you're doing, I feel like. Okay. So while that's drying, I think we're good here. Almost feel like it needs something more. Let's see what we got. Let's try this. So Citadel makes these things, little tiny tufts of grass. They're just sticky dudes. We'll put her back up here just for fun. Let's see how and where we should maybe put a little sticky dude. Where's my tweezers at? Yeah, I'll be right back. I gotta find some tweezer things. I mean, I've still got my microphone hooked up. What we got here? Ah, there we go. Perfect. Ah, knocking shit over here. Okay, so I got these little guys. I'm gonna put one of these little ones like right there. Maybe like a little bitty one right there or something. Just adds a little more life. I think we need one right there too. One of the bigger ones. What do you guys think? Right there. Yeah. I think that looks pretty cool. I have green ones too, but nah, I'm not feeling green on there. Thanks for everyone stopping in who's stopped in. I appreciate you. Should we add some roots or something to it? Maybe kind of like hanging down right here or something. Some dead plant life. Let's see how that would maybe look. They're kind of gnarled. You know, like if we stuffed it in there or something. this little chunk out of here. I feel like that works like really well right there. What do you guys think? Leave a comment in the chat. Let me know. I think I'm gonna go for it. I think I'm gonna glue those on there. I think that looks really cool like that. So just gotta trim away the part we don't want. There's my little trimmer at. This is just thick viscosity super glue by Glue Masters. It's good stuff. It's cheap. I like it. Now, a lot of times when I use little things like this, I'll paint over it and then actually color it up. But I kind of like the way it is just like this. That's stuck on there better. Put another little drop up there. What's cool with using real wood is like the super glue soaks it up really well. You don't really see it. And you can always just take a Q-tip and kind of dab it on there like that, and that'll spread it out a little better. Then take the other end of the Q-tip and you can kind of scoot the branches around a little bit to where you want them to go. I think that looks cool. So her foot will be right there. I could go in and stain these too. You know, you can use a wash if you don't like, if the color's too bright for you. You can go in with like a dark wood like this, and I'll just show you what the hell. I'm feeling it. So here's your wash. You can just take a little bit of that and brush it on there. So you can even add a little depth. You know, these ones that are kind of underneath, add a little dark color to them. And this is just a water-based acrylic wash. I think that looks good. I like it. Thanks again for joining me, guys. If you weren't here earlier, my wife was getting ready for bed, and I was feeling kind of inspired to come down to the studio and get some work done on this base. And I'm kind of feeling like I'm done with it. Like, I like it. What's it missing? Is it missing anything? And sometimes you just got to sit back and look at it, and keep turning it around. Sorry about the shaky camera. Yeah. I think I'm gonna go with it. I don't know. I like it. Should we start moving on to the feet or something? Trying to think of how I'd do these. Black maybe, and then dry brush to get these little bumps to stick up. That would look pretty cool. Do them both like that. I always like to work from the bottom up. It's just fun to do with 3D printed models like this. And then you can start putting it together and work your way up as you go along. I don't need to paint the whole thing at once, so I can, in this particular case, I can paint these one at a time. So I'm going to set the base aside. I think I'm going to call that good for now. And now I just want a good black for her shoes. I think I'm going to just load up the airbrush for this. So I'm using my this is the 2024 Evolution CR Plus, and I've got a 0.28 millimeter nozzle in there right now. So it's kind of on the in between. I can get up pretty close with it. I can get some pretty decent detail. Looks like the only fabric we have on this part of her uniform is going to be your shoes. So I'm going to just go over those in some black. There we go. So this black I'm using is just a really nothing special at all. It's just a super cheap airbrush paint. Oh yeah, this stuff right here. Royzafar, I think is the name. Of course. Anyways, it's this brand. Royzafar. Yeah. It's a really good cheap paint. I like it. Just about sprays right out of the bottle without having to mix any water with it. It's Got a great viscosity for airbrushing. I'm running my airbrush at 18 psi right now. Well, looks like I'm getting some bubbles. Bubbles. Okay, we're good. All right. So if you see bubbles coming up out of your airbrush in the cup, could mean that you have a clog. Like that. So if something's clogging your needle, that will cause bubbles to float up. And then also, if you have the cap too loose, if you don't have it screwed on tight enough, you'll see bubbles coming up there, and you won't be spraying the way you should be. You'll feel it. Sometimes you can hear it too. So you want to watch out for that. So I'm getting bubbles right now. That makes me feel like I'm getting a clog. So if I back flush it, sometimes that'll clear it. Yeah, we're getting a little clogged up here. So I'm going to finish this portion right here, squeak through it, and then we'll troubleshoot through that. Alright, set those aside and figure our airbrush out here. So if you don't want to waste paint, which even cheap paint, I don't like to waste cheap paint. So I'm going to put it back in the bottle. And the way we do that is take one of our pipettes here, and you're going to pull it right on out of your airbrush, squirt it back in there. And now we're going to clean this bad boy out real quick and see what's going on. Starting off with some water. Distilled water, by the way. Let's see, we're getting a lot of air bubbles out of that. So we're going to find out why. I think I know why. Alright. See all those air bubbles? It's kind of cool this happened, actually, because we can troubleshoot it together and you guys can see what to do if it ever happens to you. Unless you already know, then, go grab some cookies or something. You don't care about this part. Alright, so. Alright. You want to be really careful around the needle. You don't want to bend your needle. Alright. Take the back off. Take the nozzle set off. Set that aside for a second. Make sure we're clear. Unscrew the chuck. And I like to pull mine out this way. Some people say you can do it the other way. You can do it any which way you're comfortable with. And then I got this little guy here. It's got a little sharp end on it. And I just want to get in here and check for any blockages. It looks like we're looking pretty good here. And then check our nozzle. Looking pretty good. Oh, whoa! Don't drop that. Did I drop it? Nope. I found it. Here we go. Pop that back in there and get our body. That back together again. Nice and tight. What I love about these H&S airbrushes, harder and Steenbeck, is there's a little funnel at the end, so it's nice and easy to put your needle back in there. And you don't want to push hard, you just barely get it to where it's just coming out of there. Blink. And then go ahead and tighten your chuck up. Now what I like to do from this point is I'll run some alcohol through it. So that's spraying well. Then I'll just take an old piece of shit airbrush or a hand brush, you know, kind of clean around the needle. Make sure there. Dump that out. And then back for a little more water. Looks like we're spraying good now. So, all right. Go ahead and put our cup back on. Now, what very well could have happened too is I didn't shake my paint well enough, and a little glob of shit got in there while I was cleaning it out. Who knows? Well, cool. Well, we're done with the black paint. So now we can move on to our highlight. Also with my airbrush, I'll sometimes throw a little airbrush cleaner in the brush when I'm not using it. If I just finished using it, and I'm gonna set it aside until I do something else. I'll just throw a little airbrush cleaner in the cup and let that sit in there. They're feeling pretty dry, but we're gonna give them a little blow. Cool. I'm gonna take a dark gray. I'm just using like a real thin airbrush paint to do this lighter part of her boot. I just felt like this little panel needed to be a little lighter. Something on the edge of my brush. Thanks for joining in. I'm just doing some live painting here. Saturday night, I was getting bored of Fallout 76 on my Xbox and decided to come downstairs and paint. Wife was going to bed, so I was like, shit, I'm gonna go downstairs and go paint. Get some work done on Shae Vizla. Okay, and she's got another strip thing here. Get that painted real quick. I don't need to be super clean down here because I'm going to use like a matte black to go over her soles. Details matter. Set that aside to dry for a few. Do the same thing with this guy. Well, crickets just started acting up. My studio's in my garage downstairs from our condo, and we get crickets. And they like to talk, so that's what that sound is. Cool. All right. Next little strappy strap. How's everybody doing tonight? What's everybody doing? Just chilling? I'm kind of old. I don't really care to go out much anymore. Yeah, alcohol's expensive and drunk people suck. And yeah. I'm not get off my lawn old yet, but definitely not putting up with bullshit old. Painting tends to be my happy place. After my wife, of course. My wife is my happy place, but painting's pretty cool too. I started drawing and painting, probably 50, no, not 50, 45 years ago. As soon as I could pick up a crayon, I started drawing and painting and stuff. And now with the advent of 3D printing, it's pretty cool. Really dig on painting these models and stuff. So it's a trip. A friend of mine got me into 3D printing about a year and a half ago, and I went nuts with the whole 3D printing thing. I started off with an FDM printer, and worked my way up to resin printing because I realized that was where the detail was, with the resin printing for doing figures and the kind of stuff I like. I started off just wanting to do like dinosaur skulls and goofy stuff like that, and then I realized like, shit, painting these statues and stuff was really, really fun. So I started doing that, and here we are. So I'm gonna do some dry brushing now on the boots. Just to bring out these textures. It's like a really cool little like bumpy texture on her boot. Hopefully you guys can see that all right. A little more paint on the brush. There's some like little ribs and stuff on her boot. I want those to stand out. Could have almost just used a lighter gray, but I like that. It's almost like a gunmetal gray. Looks nice. All that good. You guys are awfully quiet tonight. Nobody wants to say what they're up to, what you're doing. Am I just background noise fodder for you? That's okay. I'm totally cool with that. I'm just glad you're here. Hopefully having a good Saturday night no matter what. I know that the light's probably glaring off of what I'm doing here and you can't really see it too well, but I promise it looks pretty cool. I'm just concentrating on bringing this texture out on her boots. Cool. All right, I'm good for that. Change the camera for this part. Makes it easier for me to work. Oh, oops. There we go. That's a little better. And I'll just flip this over. Where's our metal cutter? Here it is. So this is like the base I'm using for her armor. I'm always real careful around the outline because I don't like to have to fix mistakes if I don't need to. Sorry, I'm not talking much. You guys aren't talking much either, to be fair. Which is totally fine if you're all just here to relax and enjoy the background music and watch me paint. That's totally cool. But if you have a question or feel like chatting about something, tell me about your Saturday. What'd you guys do this weekend so far? Whatever. Feel free. Otherwise, I'm just enjoying this little paint session with you guys. There's that cricket again. Cool. I'm pretty satisfied with that. There's that little spot again. Alright, well while that part's drying, we will work on the shin guards, I guess is what it is. If you're just tuning in, welcome. Much love to all of you and yours on this fine Saturday evening. Now, it could be airbrushing this, but I'm wanting to hand brush it because it's easier to give it kind of a dirty look. I don't know if you can see it, but there's some scars and, you know, some dents in the metal of her armor. And eventually I'm going to want that stuff to stand out. How's it going, everyone? How's everybody doing? Everybody doing quiet tonight, that's for sure. Oops. Stuck my finger in on there. That was fun. These little thin parts right here and then this back end, that's all going to be like, I haven't decided yet. It's either going to be black or dark gray. So I'll be painting over it, hence the reason why I'm not being really careful around it right now. Oops. Go in and fix that little screw up right there. That was my carelessness. Go back over that with some black later on. And while that's drying, we shall... There we go. Well, oops, sorry guys. That cricket is loud tonight, isn't it? Dang. Say your piece, cricket. Is that it? That'd be pretty nice. Getting tired of that song. Bye. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm just chilling here painting. Happy Saturday, everyone. Hope everybody is having an awesome Saturday. Thank you for joining in tonight. Appreciate you guys. We are painting Shae Vizla, the Mandalorian character. I don't really know a hell of a lot about her at the moment that I can remember. Mostly familiar with her from the Clone Wars. If you guys know anything about Shae Vizla, feel free to leave it in the chat section. If you want to drop a line and share some info, feel free to share the deets. This metal color, this dark aluminum that I'm using by Vallejo, you have to keep mixing it as you go along. If it sits for too long, it starts to settle out. It's a really trippy paint. The way it lays on probably doesn't translate too well on camera, but it is good stuff. So, this right here. Again, I'd like to thank everybody, all my new and old subscribers. Really appreciate you guys being here. Oh, hey, buddy, what's happening? Mr. Sarver is in the house. Yeah, dude, I got to thinking after we talked last time that, I mean, I guess I probably could have sent you a message and let you know I was going to go live, but this just proves you're paying attention. It's my buddy Aaron. We go way, way back. But yeah, after I talked to you, bud, I was like, you know, I could just do some live sessions from time to time. They still stay on my channel, even though I'm done with the recording. And my thing is like, I'll basically start with a full battery on my phone, and when my battery runs out, that's the end of the live session. I don't charge my phone when I'm painting, just because I don't know, it's kind of like a weird little timer for me. It's just my weird thing. Like, if I'm filming and my phone loses charge, that's the I don't know, it's like the universe's way of saying, stand up for a minute, get off your ass and walk around for a second, because your back's already jacked up enough, and you shouldn't be sitting in a chair painting all freaking day long, because I will do that. At least until my wife, like, tells me to bust out. Oh, you like the music? This is, I think it's mainly just one dude. Goes by the name of Lanterna. If anybody's enjoying the background soundtrack, check that band out. They're one of the bands I have found by dropping videos on YouTube, for now at least. They're cool with their music being played. If they ever reached out to me and said, stop please, I would of course do that. If he did, let's see. Yeah, it is a good clock. You know, just letting your battery die. Oh, you looked up Lanterna. Yeah, they're cool. He is cool. Whatever. It's music I know I can play in the background live, and it's okay. It's safe. I'm not gonna get. I hope my channel's not gonna get shut down. So YouTube, if you hear this, like, just please let me know what I need to do if I'm screwing up by putting this out there. Lanterna, if you get this, if you see this video, just know I love you guys. I love your music, and I didn't mean any harm by playing it on my channel. It's just very easygoing and awesome when I'm painting. Fits the mood. Cool. I think I'm happy with that armored coupling there. Holy shnikes, there's 59 people watching right now. Wow, hi everybody. Dude, that's awesome. I'm surprised I even have one person in here, much less 59 right now. That's pretty dope. Thanks for hanging out, y'all. Pretty cool. So my buddy Aaron, who's in the room with us right now, is actually one of the dudes that inspired me to do live. I've actually had a few people ask me to post like the longer versions of my paint sessions, and I felt like just doing it live was a really easy way to do it. It stays on the channel, and you know, if somebody doesn't want to watch a short, condensed, like 20-minute speed version of an entire model being built all at once, then you can check out my live feed stuff that I've done. Which this is only the third live thing I've done so far. So if you haven't seen the other two, Aaron, check those out. Sorry for the hair dryer noise. I tell everybody the same thing, and it's true. This is my wife's old hair dryer. I absconded it and took over its use, forcing my wife to give up the idea that she could dry her hair with it any longer. And she had to, oh, God forbid, my wife had to go shopping, got a new hair dryer. So I'm gonna set that leg aside. chicken leg. This is looking pretty scuffy. I like it. Back to panel liner. I think so. But I think I'm gonna brush it on, just in case. We're gonna give this one a little blow dry as well. Oops, I'm starting to drop stuff. I might be getting tired. Ugh. It's all right though. I'm gonna keep going until that battery dies. Holy wow, 72 people in here. Oh, welcome to my channel. If you've been here before, awesome. If you haven't before, welcome. Really appreciate you guys stopping in and checking it out. Some boring shit, really. I'm painting the legs for Shae Vizla. I was working on, oh, Aaron, if you're still here, check this out. This is what we did earlier. That's the base for it. So I glued on, I used some Xandri dust for the base, and then I used metal color for this metal part, and then I used panel liner for the metal part, and then I used dark wood for the wash around here, and then I used Xandri dust again to dry brush the highlights, and then I took this little bit of wood stuff that I had, it's like for decorative models, and these little grass tufts, and added those to it. So this is not 3D printed, this little part. These little bushy guys aren't 3D printed either. That'd be pretty sweet though. So that's what I did so far. And then I've been mocking it up by sticking her leg on there. I think this is the right leg. Yeah. And yeah. And then her other foot's like hanging out on top of this. So it's starting to slowly but surely come together. I like to work from the bottom up so that when I finish this section, I can glue these in if I want. Leave them not glued in. I can wait till I finish all of it and then glue everything together. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go along. I feel like this part of her boot needs some dirtiness as well. So let's do that real quick. This is a color called Nuln Oil. This stuff is magic. Ever since I learned what this stuff was. All your miniature D&D painters love this stuff. They use it for their models. It's just a really good, like, all-around weathering and shading color, I guess. Yeah, I'll show you how it works on the metal there. See how that works. Pretty cool. But I want something a little grungier, so we're gonna go to this panel liner. I'm just gonna clean this off a little bit. There we go. This is basically like oil-based ink or something like that. I'm not really sure, but it's really good for grunge. You can just kind of let it pool up in little areas there. And it'll find its way into all the little dents and cracks and crevices you need it to go to. I like to shape it a little bit with my brush. Play around with it. There's no trick to it, just do what you feel is working for you. Like that. Cool. Moving right along. You can see how it fills in these little holes. If you don't want it completely filled in, just go back over it. Another way to apply this on like a big surface like this is you can use a flat. And I like to start off a little bit, teeny bit damp. And you can lay it on. And then you'll see it'll start working its way down. What I like to do is dab it off. You can see it gets in those little cracks and stuff real nice. As long as I hold it vertically, it'll keep finding its way down there and it'll create like a little shadow. I like the way it looks for doing armor. You see it's real viscous, so it'll run nice. Yeah, I like to be a little liberal with it. That's what those gray patches were missing. That's starting to look pretty nice around the edges there, like that. And we'll do the same with this middle part here. So my phone just went into low power notice. So basically, when the channel just all of a sudden cuts feed, that's it for the live session tonight. And before that happens, I definitely want to thank you guys so very much for cruising in and checking out my channel tonight and joining me during this paint session. One thing I really like about lives is that if I make a mistake, or you guys get to see the creative process, because I literally make this shit up as I go along usually, and I don't really know what I'm gonna do until I sit down and start doing. I mean, I have a reference photo that I go by from the sculptors from CA3D. CA3D Studios did this one, not SW3D. Anyways, I have a reference picture that they released during their renders. It was one of their early renderings, I think by Vittor is who sculpted this. Anyhow, that's the only reference picture I'm looking at. I know she's got some reds in her armor and stuff that I'll be getting later. But right now I just want that. Oh, there's like a hair on there. That kind of made a cool effect, really. I almost should have left it. Oops. Pull that off like that. There we go. So you saw it pulled a little bit of paint off, and so what I did is just took a little panel liner and cruised a little puddle of it right into the where that took the paint off. I'm just gonna leave it. Almost looks like I could take an airbrush to it and make it look like a gun hole or a bullet hole, you know, that might be pretty cool. I don't know, we'll get to it another time. I'm gonna set that aside for now. And grab the other one real quick, and we're gonna do the same thing. Hopefully get this knocked out before my phone's battery dies. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate that. You took some of your time on your Saturday night to swing in and visit with me, watch me paint. If you like what you see here and you digging what I'm doing, I'm digging what you're doing too. Hit that like button. I hate to sound so cliche with all the other YouTube guys out there, smash the like button. But I get it, you know. I do want you to please, if you like what you see, hit the like button, and definitely subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification and all that other fun stuff, so you can see when I drop more videos. This next week or two, hopefully it doesn't take me all week to finish Shae Vizla here. And then I've got a special project coming up after Shae Vizla with a company I cannot name just yet. I think. I mean, I probably could. I imagine they wouldn't care. But I also want to talk to them first before I want to make sure we agree on things. I don't have any demands or anything. I just want to make sure that they're cool with me saying their name, and yeah. So basically what happened is they sent me a model. I won a model on accident. I didn't even realize I was entering in a contest, really, and I won it. And basically I'm gonna paint it, and then I want to give it back to them for them to give away to one of their subscribers. You know, kind of like you know, I wouldn't say I'm sponsored by them, but I could just say, you know, like I'm working in partnership with them, which I think he's down for, I think. If you're watching tonight, Mr. You Know Who, I'll just say, I can say Spider-Gwen. That's the That's the hint I'll drop. But yeah, if you're watching and you want to pipe in, feel free to say hello. Hello, Governor. I'm just kind of like randomly streaking. I don't want this boot to look exactly like the other one, obviously. I like how that's looking there. That's looking pretty cool. In the next session, I'm gonna go over this part all in black. I think that's like her clothing or something. Actually, I guess I could just put her legs up here and see what I'm working with here. Is that this leg? Oh yeah, so maybe this is dark gray or something. I know this part of her costume's, that part's black. This is gonna be black in here. So maybe I'll do like a dark gray for this. Not sure. Anyways, yeah. For those of you who haven't already, like I said, please hit the subscribe button. If you like, hit the like and subscribes for the use of tubes. And hit the bell notification so you know when I'm going to drop another video or go live. I'm taking a break from alcohol right now, but I'm thinking in the future there may be like a Saturday night where we toast and stuff. I gotta look into it if that's legal. I don't know if I can do that. I'll probably just, whatever beer I'm drinking or whatever, I would just cover up with tape or something. I don't know how that works on YouTube yet, so I gotta figure that out. There's laws for every damn thing we try to do these days, so who knows? Who knows? So, okay, cool. So I'm still working on these boots. These are not done yet. Hello, my darling. Hello, my sunshine. Hello, my... Yeah, anyways. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. I'm getting weird, sorry. It's late. I'm tired. Yeah. Hit the like and subscribe button. Bell notifications. All that fun stuff. I wonder what these on the back of her leg are. They're only on the back of her left leg. Huh. I'm gonna have to do some research on Shae Vizla. But yeah, there's some reds that we gotta add to parts of her outfit. I'm gonna have to refer back to my picture. Lights glaring. So this is my reference picture that I'm using right now. I think Vittor did this. So yeah, she's got some red up in there. There's gonna be some cool elements like on her belt. Oh, I'm trying to turn this like it's a 3D model. Yeah, to make that color is gonna be fun. Shoulder pad's got like the red pinstripes and stuff in it. So it's not all gonna be like, yeah. Looks like there might be a little red in her boot there, but it's not over there, so we might leave her boots that way. Okay, so this part's just kind of black with the stripe stripy stripe through it. So maybe we'll try something like that. But yeah, this is basically how I start working on these things, is just winging it, you know, make it up as I go along. I have a reference photo, but I'll do my own little bits and bobs as I go along. And then, yeah. Oh, sorry, earthquake. Yeah. There we go. So she's starting to take a little shape here. I'll move my camera up a little bit. Change the light. That looks a little better. Alright, cool. And the backpack, jetpack goes back there like that. And then her head. Come on, girl. Make another little adjustment for you guys here. Since we're getting towards the end of our broadcast for the evening, figured I'll kind of mock her up and put her together a little bit so we can see the work we did today and how that contrasts with what's going on. This arm, she's got her pistola. And she's a little off kilter right now, so I've been putting these little wingdings under here to hold the base up a little more straight. And then she's got this tube that goes like that and hooks to her backpack. So when we're done, she'll look like that, but way cooler. We'll make her look way cooler than that. But I like the way her boots are looking so far. I think that's pretty sweet. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. If you have any ideas about how I should print her, or paint her, I should say. This is what we got to work with. So yeah, that's basically that's what I'm going for. That's what I'm going with, because that's Shae Vizla, and that's the way I want to paint her. So yeah, that way, so she's not all boring and just metal. And then she's got another helmet, which is cool. I have no idea what this helmet is supposed to look like, so we'll kind of make that up again too. I'm not entirely pleased with the way it printed out. There's a little mistake up here where the ridge didn't follow the sand, so I might even like drill into her dome a little bit and make it look battle damaged, just to cover that up. See how it's kind of like lumpy, like somebody poured frosting over her helmet or something. Could make it look like chocolate syrup. I don't know. But anyways, thanks for hanging out with me all tonight. I really appreciate you guys. I had a good time. Hit that like and subscribe button. I gotta clean out my airbrush here. Oh, see, I'm getting bubbles again. That's not cool. My airbrush is like puking weirdness. I don't know why. Try and put some alcohol through it, maybe. See if that clears it out. I'm just gonna keep farting around. Oh, 10% battery. We got 10% left. 10% now, Aaron. That's where we're at. So I'm gonna just keep going here. I always clean out my airbrush very thoroughly before I go, like when I'm done. So right now there's some alcohol in here. See how it's still bubbling? It's not supposed to do that. I don't want it to do that. It should be like that. No bubbles. No bubbles. Now you can tell. Also, if you got any color left down there when you backflush it like this, that color will come out. So this is coming clear right now, which tells me my airbrush is clean. I like that. I like it when my airbrush tells me it's clean. I use that little old paintbrush just to clean out the needle real good. And this is a 90% alcohol that's in here right now. I don't want to leave that in too long. Add a little more distilled water. And the reason why you want to move your trigger back and forth like that is because it cleans the needle off when you're doing that. Hard to get the focus right. But yeah. So you kind of want to toggle the trigger like that a little bit when you're cleaning it out. So once I get this cleared out, I'll spray a little bit on a napkin. And then I'll do this. Pop this bad boy off. Set that aside. And take the back off. This is every time I finish an airbrush session. This is what I do. This is like I think I paid $260, $270 for this airbrush. It's the 2024 CR Plus, the Evolution. So I like to take care of my stuff and just gently swipe the needle through. Make sure it's nice and clean. You don't have like ridges of paint stuck to it or anything like that. And then put your nozzle back together again. That screws into the front. It's kind of weird doing this with trying. I need to look at my airbrush and not the camera. Stupid. Okay, so that goes back on there. And if you weren't here earlier, one feature I love about Harder and Steenbeck airbrushes is, on the newer ones especially, is the funnel in the back. Acts as a nice little guide to get that needle in. And you just want that needle to barely boop out the tip, nice and gentle. Don't push on it hard. Go easy. Nozzle's kind of soft. And just line that back up. I like symmetry, so I always like looking down the barrel of the gun. She's looking pretty. And then disconnect on my quick release. And her case is right up here. And she goes back in her home to go tonight. And I don't like to paint with my needle protector on there, the needle guard. But when I put it back in the box, I will put the guard back on there. Just for that little added bit of protection. These needles are between $50 and $80 just to replace one needle if you screw it up. So I like to take care of them. This one right here is the 0.4.
0.45 millimeter actually. So yeah, just as a quick review, I've owned Iwata airbrushes in my time. It's been 25 years since I owned an Iwata. I switched over on a whim. I thought I'd try Harder and Steenbeck, and I'll never go back. In my personal opinion, they are the best airbrushes. They are my favorite airbrush in the world. I've tried Posh, I've done Iwata, Badger. I've had all kinds of airbrushes, but Harder and Steenbeck, they're on the pricey side. These go anywhere from $250 on the low end, up to I think $450 I paid for my Infinity CR Plus. That's a 2-in-1. So this is for my super fine line detail stuff that I do from time to time when I got to get up really, really close. This is a 0.15 millimeter nozzle, but I can switch it out to a 0.4 as well. So I usually have one or the other. I'll have this one hooked up with a 0.28 millimeter, and then this one with the 0.15 for real high detail, and this one I'll switch over to a 0.4 millimeter occasionally if I'm doing like primer coats and stuff like that. But anyways, Harder and Steenbeck, highly, highly, highly recommend them if you want to spend the money to get yourself a good airbrush. Remember, you do get what you pay for in this day and age, and yeah, I don't think I mean, unless you're a diehard Posh or Iwata fan, Galeri, there's all kinds of different airbrush companies out there. But whatever works for you, whatever you like, that's what you like. I'm all about it. Use what you love. But if you've never tried Harder and Steenbeck airbrush, give them a whirl. No, I am not sponsored by Harder and Steenbeck either. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I buy all my stuff with my own money, and that's it. That's why I'm always poor, because I'm spending money on resin to print, resin and paint to print and paint stuff like this. That's what I spend my money on. Yeah, I gotta get better about not spending money. Oh yeah, and stay tuned if you guys are new here. I was talking earlier, I'm doing Obi-Wan Kenobi Rides BOGO. It was released by CA3D Studios May 1st, and it is by far the largest print I've ever worked on. I've got to put together all these pieces here, get them all sealed up. And again, if my channel cuts off, that's because my phone died. That means it's end of the night, so I'm kind of just killing time with you guys here. But I still have to get these all put together and seal all the gaps and get ready for the next layer, which is like rocks and stuff that build up, and then BOGOs sitting on the rocks. If you've seen Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, it's the scene where Obi-Wan Kenobi's going after General Grievous, and this is the base for the thing. CA3D went out of their minds putting this together. I absolutely can't wait to finish printing it. I've got stuff in the printer now. Oh, wait. No, it's still got another hour or two to go in there. Those are some of the antenna and everything that like stick out of the base and everything. But it's 700 millimeters tall. I don't know what that is right off the bat. I want to say that's almost 2 feet, or it is 2 feet, a little over 2 feet tall. I mean, this thing is going to be insane. And I will be shooting video for the process. Probably not so much of the prep and everything, but yeah, it's going to be gnarly. Anyways, I'm going to start making my way out of here. thank you guys again for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I guess we're still on.